World War II, a conflict that raged from 1939 to 1945, stands as the deadliest in human history. It engulfed the globe, drawing over 30 nations into its devastating vortex. From the beaches of Normandy to the jungles of the Pacific, the war left an indelible mark on the 20th century. Millions of soldiers and civilians perished, entire cities were reduced to rubble, and the world was forever changed. The war's impact extended far beyond the battlefield, shaping the geopolitical landscape and accelerating technological advancements. Understanding the causes of World War II is crucial to comprehending its profound impact. The roots of World War II can be traced back to the aftermath of World War I. The Treaty of Versailles, intended to ensure lasting peace, instead sowed the seeds of future conflict. Germany, burdened by war guilt and crippling reparations, became a breeding ground for resentment and extremism. The rise of aggressive ideologies, particularly fascism in Italy and Nazism in Germany, further destabilized Europe. These ideologies, fueled by nationalism and militarism, rejected democracy and international cooperation. The Nazi regime, led by Adolf Hitler, embarked on a campaign of remilitarization and territorial expansion, violating the Treaty of Versailles. The policy of appeasement adopted by Britain and France only emboldened Hitler. The Munich Agreement, ceding the Sudetenland region of Czechoslovakia to Germany, stands as a stark reminder of the perils of appeasement. The global economic depression of the 1930s created fertile ground for extremist movements to flourish. On September 1, 1939, Germany, under the leadership of Adolf Hitler, invaded Poland, marking the beginning of World War II in Europe. Hitler's blitzkrieg, a lightning-fast military tactic utilizing tanks and air power, overwhelmed Polish defenses, swiftly conquering the nation. Britain and France, bound by treaty obligations to Poland, declared war on Germany. However, their initial response was hesitant and ineffective. The Phony War, a period of relative inactivity on the Western Front, followed the invasion of Poland. In the spring of 1940, Germany unleashed its blitzkrieg on Western Europe, conquering Denmark, Norway, the Netherlands, Belgium and Luxembourg in rapid succession. The fall of France in June 1940, after a 6-week campaign, shocked the world. Britain, now standing alone against Nazi Germany, braced for a German invasion. The Royal Air Force, despite being outnumbered, successfully defended Britain against the Luftwaffe, thwarting Hitler's plans for an invasion. Section 4, the Pacific Theater from Pearl Harbor to Hiroshima. While war raged in Europe, tensions were also escalating in the Pacific. Japan, a rising military power with imperial ambitions, sought to expand its influence in East Asia. The United States, with its territorial possessions in the Pacific and its opposition to Japanese expansionism, became increasingly drawn into the conflict. On December 7, 1941, Japan launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, the main U.S. naval base in the Pacific. The attack, intended as a preemptive strike to cripple the U.S. Pacific Fleet, brought the United States into World War II. The American public, outraged by the attack, rallied behind President Franklin D. Roosevelt's call to arms. The Pacific War was characterized by brutal island-hopping campaigns, naval battles, and aerial combat. Japan, initially on the offensive, conquered vast swathes of Southeast Asia, but its advance was eventually halted by Allied forces. The Battle of Midway, a decisive naval battle fought in June 1942, marked a turning point in the Pacific War. The United States, under the leadership of Admiral Chester Nimitz and General Douglas MacArthur, gradually pushed back Japanese forces. In August 1945, facing imminent defeat, Japan refused to surrender unconditionally. The United States dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, leading to Japan's surrender and the end of World War II. Section 5. The unfathomable cost of war. World War II exacted an unfathomable toll on humanity. An estimated 70 to 85 million people perished, including soldiers and civilians. The war left behind a landscape of destruction, with cities in ruins and economies shattered. The Holocaust, the systematic genocide of 6 million Jews by Nazi Germany, stands as one of the darkest chapters in human history. Jews, deemed racially inferior by Nazi ideology, were subjected to persecution, imprisonment, and mass murder. Beyond the Holocaust, countless other atrocities were committed during the war. Civilians were targeted in bombing raids, subjected to forced labor, and caught in the crossfire of battles. The psychological scars of war ran deep, leaving millions traumatized by the horrors they had witnessed and endured. Section 6. Shaping the post-war world. World War II profoundly reshaped the geopolitical landscape, leading to the emergence of a new world order. The United States and the Soviet Union, allies during the war, emerged as the world's two superpowers, their rivalry shaping the latter half of the 20th century. The formation of the United Nations in 1945 represented a collective effort to prevent future conflicts and promote international cooperation. The UN, founded on the principles of peace, security, and human rights, aimed to provide a forum for dialogue and diplomacy. The Cold War, an ideological and geopolitical struggle between the United States and the Soviet Union, dominated international relations for decades. World War II also accelerated technological advancements, particularly in aviation, medicine, and nuclear technology. Section 7, lest we forget the enduring legacy. World War II, despite its horrors, also left behind a legacy of resilience, courage, and the indomitable human spirit. The war witnessed acts of extraordinary bravery, selflessness, and sacrifice, reminding us of the potential for good even in the darkest of times. Women who had played a vital role in the war effort entered the workforce in unprecedented numbers, challenging traditional gender roles. The war also exposed the horrors of racism and intolerance, paving the way for the civil rights movement and the dismantling of colonial empires. The importance of international cooperation, the dangers of unchecked aggression, and the need to confront hatred and intolerance remain as relevant as ever. Remembering the sacrifices of those who fought and perished during the war serves as a powerful reminder to strive for peace, understanding, and a world free from the scourge of war. By remembering the horrors of World War II and honoring the sacrifices of those who fought for freedom, we can strive to create a world where such conflicts are consigned to the history book.